little bit of humility. Just tell one. So I heard there's over 600 here tonight. Is that the number? Over 600? So if this is over 600, this would officially make this the largest challenge party, one night, 1 hour get together I've ever done in 14 years in the history of this industry. So, awesome job. And it makes me feel even better. That's my hometown. It makes me feel proud. Right? It's because it's Grand Rapids. So it's funny because I remember when we were first starting the company and we were having little presentations at my house, like 20 people, 30 people, 20 people, 30 people, like, I'm telling you, Grand Rapids is going to be number one someday. I'm telling you, it's going to be number one someday. And now, however many 15 ambassadors later, 2 5-stars, a 3-star, about 50 BMWs in the parking lot. You guys are absolutely making a case for one of the top marketplaces in the entire North American continent. So congratulations on that. I want to start tonight by just quickly, I want to thank everybody who is, looking at the challenge from a user perspective. Meaning you just want to get on the challenge. You want to give it 90 days. You want to test that money back guarantee theory. You want to see what it does for you. And you want to make sure that, you do something great for your body. Because I know there's a lot of you guys that just came down here tonight for that. And I want to say that does not go unnoticed. The majority of our people that join our company are just on the challenge. And I want to say thank you. I look forward to seeing your results in the next 90 days. I can't wait to see what happens to you. But I also want to say you got to bear with me for a few minutes because I came down here more tonight to talk about the entrepreneurial spirit. And I want to talk to those of you guys that are out there that are, kind of looking for something extra to do to make things better in the home, one way, shape, or form, from a financial perspective. So again, thank you to those of you guys that just want to get on the challenge, but definitely give me a few minutes here to talk to that rest of that group. Quick background: I am originally so I get to speak in about 20 different cities a month, and I only get to say this about once a month. I am originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is here. So I am from here. Normally I'll say that there's about 300 people there, and one person goes, like, that guy knows where it is. So I was born and raised in Wyoming. All 4 of my grandparents worked at Steelcase. My dad worked at Steelcase. My uncles worked at Steelcase. My cousins worked at Steelcase. My brothers worked at Steelcase. Or at least for some point in their career, they all did. And I knew as the youngest of all the grandchildren, growing up, there was one place I didn't want to work. You want to guess what that is? And it wasn't because we didn't have a nice lifestyle. We definitely had a nice lifestyle. It provided, roof over our heads and food and nothing at all to complain about. We had everything that we needed, but not necessarily everything that we wanted. Anyone want to guess? Wanted, right? We had everything we needed, but not necessarily everything we wanted. You realized the value of money at a very young age. You'd be in a store, you pick up a toy, you hold up the toy, and mom and dad would say, "You don't what? Need that." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm 4. I don't need a lot. I just want this G.I. Joe." Right? It's like I just kind of want it. And you start to realize that you don't need that really means we can't what? Afford that. So I early on established that I wanted to be financially successful one day. I mean, as a kid. As a kid, though, you want to be rich one day, right? So as a 8, 9, 10, 12-year-old, whatever, I knew I wanted to be rich one day. Anybody out there as a kid know you want to be rich one day or want to be rich one day? The rest of you guys as a kid, you want to be poor one day? Or like you're 10 years old going, I want to be somewhere in the middle. I want to be right there in the middle. No, we all wanted to be rich one day when we were a kid, but there was never really an education. No, there isn't an education program for it. It doesn't exist. The only education, to become successful financially that that is offered is at the table of a wealthy family. If you eat dinner at the table of a wealthy family every day, your whole entire life, you got a good shot of taking that another generation, right? But if you eat dinner at the table and you're learning middle class financial principles, there's a good shot that's probably going to extend to your family as well. I looked at what are the options for a kid who wants to be quote-unquote rich one day. Well, you can be an actor or actress, you can be a rock star, you can be a rapper, you can do something illegal, or you can be a pro athlete. Those are pretty much your 5 options. I can't act, I can't sing or play instruments, I can't rhyme, I'm not good at lying, and I was pretty good at sports. So that left option number 5 for me. I went and played college baseball at Graham Community College. I had a full ride scholarship there, which is a really good baseball school. And while I was going to school there, when I was 18 years old, I was introduced to the real way that success financially is created in the world, and it's called entrepreneurship. And I was completely blown away because at 18 years old, I had just got done with high school, and nobody had brought up the word entrepreneurship once. I mean, you'd think that would be something you'd teach in first grade. Like, hey, during your summer break, try to become an entrepreneur. Start a lemonade stand. Start a this. Start a that. Go, do a car washing business. Anything, right? But it just doesn't exist. It's not taught anywhere. So I was excited, needless to say, to learn that I could be quote unquote rich one day, and it didn't matter whether or not I could run fast, throw a ball far, or hit hard, or whatever, or for the other options, whether or not you were a good actor or singer or dancer or whatever. I could do it through hard work and an intelligent system. You got to have those two: hard work and an intelligent system. Let's do a check-in. How many of you guys work really hard at what you do currently now as it is? Could be a mom. How many of you guys just work really hard, right? A couple of you guys are like, I'm so lazy I can't get my arm out, right? So, no, not me. But 99% of you guys have that mentality that we're famous for in the Midwest, which is the Midwest work ethic. We work hard. Unfortunately, almost that same number of hands that went up are working hard in the wrong system. So what success is about financially is working hard at the right system. That's it. Entrepreneurship is a system. And then you choose a vehicle, per se, within entrepreneurship. What's your vehicle? Which system of entrepreneurship do you want to run? Which system of entrepreneurship do you want to drive, right? Hard work is not enough. Plain and simple, it's just not enough. Some of you guys have realized that. How many of you guys have realized that hard work is just not enough, right? It's just not. If you're running west for the rest of your life, which I think is that way, if you're running west for the rest of your life, and you run, work, hard, scratch that, we're going to start over. We're going to run east for the rest of our life, not west. You're going to run east for the rest of your life, nonstop. You work nonstop running east. Will you ever see a sunset? No. Why? Where does the sun set? In the west. So it doesn't matter how hard you work, you're running the wrong direction. Hard work is not enough. So when I found out you could be an entrepreneur, I immediately fell in love, I got started, and I had zero success at being an entrepreneur. But I kept going, and I kept going, and I kept going, and I kept going, and I didn't quit, and I kept going, and I didn't quit, and I kept going, and I didn't quit, and I kept going. And by the time I was 22 years old, I was making $30,000 a month, which is a great year for most people. But it was $30,000 a month. It was more money. Anytime you can make more in thousands per month than you are old, that's a really good month, right? Especially when you're Dale Peak's age, right? Hey, I know you're making more than your age per month, which is a really good month when you're Dale Peak's age. So guys, I'm going to tell you, it was a dramatic lifestyle change. I moved to California at the time. I developed this strange allergy that when you start to make larger amounts of money, a lot of you guys will also come up with this allergy. It's called allergy to snow. Is anyone getting allergic to snow? Like, some of you guys will be like, you'll have two places. Like, I have a Miami place, I have a Michigan place, because home is home, and my relatives are here, my friends are here. But every once in a while, I get that allergy to snow, pretty much 5 months out of the year, and I go to places where snow's not. So I moved to California, and every morning I'd wake up 8 o'clock Monday through Friday, 8:30 Monday through Friday. I'd walk across the street, I'd touch my toes in the water in Huntington Beach, California, and I'd say, today I beat the system, Monday. I'd come back on Tuesday, today I beat the system, Tuesday. Today I beat the system, Wednesday. And I'd do that every day of the week, Monday through Friday. And there was literally nobody there. You could look all the way to the right, you could look all the way to the left, and you could look for miles and see nothing but beach. Where was everybody at 8:30 Monday through Friday? Work. It was just me and a couple homeless guys. We were high-fiving the whole time. Now, everyone who did not know me immediately assumed I must be one of two things. I must be either a rich kid, because there's a lot of rich kids in Orange County, California, and we all established earlier that I'm definitely not a rich kid. And if I wasn't a rich kid, like, he makes a lot of money, drives a nice car, he's at the beach all the time, he's young, something ain't right here. If he's not a rich kid, then he must be a what? Anyone want to guess? Supermodel, you got it, yes. So, okay, you're right, drug dealer, but now, every city I go to, by the way, everyone yells out the same answer to that joke, right? Because they don't know it's a joke. They're like, drug dealer? And when I was young, that used to bother me when people assumed that. And then I realized it wasn't that they had a problem with me, it's that they had a problem with what they were taught. Because what they were taught since they were this tall is that type of success at that age is just not what? Starts with P. Possible. It's not possible. It's not possible. Oh, let's give in to them. Oh, you must be doing something illegal. It's not possible. It's not possible. Tonight, from my communication to you, is nothing more than a possibility. That's it. For those of you guys that want to take the challenge, it's actually about a guarantee. Because we guarantee your results. But for those of you guys that want to be an entrepreneur, it's a possibility. It's not about a guarantee. I cannot guarantee you will be successful. But I can give you the possibility. I can give you a system that you can combine your hard work with and find that sunset, right? I can direct you running west as opposed to running east. Will you run? I don't know. Will you make it? I don't know. Will you go for it? I don't know. Is it possible? Yes. And there's a lot of you in this room that were just simply hungry for a possibility. That's it. Some of you were just dragged down. Some of you tonight, because I can tell you, because I'll get like the angry face, the arms folded angry face guy. Like, I know you got dragged down. I'm sorry, but don't be mad at me. I didn't drag you down. By the way, angry face people, you do know this isn't television. I can see you, right? But seriously though, for those of you guys that are here for a possibility, I want you guys to know that this is it. This is that possibility, not a guarantee. Like some of you guys think, well, not everyone's going to make it. I'm like, no kidding. And guess what? Not everyone's going to make it in real estate. Not everyone's going to make it in any business. Do you guys realize that 9 out of 10 businesses fail in their first 3 years? Period. It doesn't matter what type of business you start, 9 out of 10 businesses will fail in their first 3 years. Should we tell every person not to start a business because there's a better chance than not that they're going to fail? That's most likely that they're going to fail. Should we tell them not to start a business? No. They don't start it to become one of the 90%. They start the business to be one of the 10%. The possibility. See, guys, if we ran around and told people, don't start businesses, there's a great chance you're not going to make it, that would make us a whole other country. That would make us a country that doesn't allow entrepreneurship. Countries that people try to get out of. Nobody's in a boat trying to get out of the United States. You guys notice that? There are people in boats trying to get into this country. Nobody's trying to get out of this country. And if you can't find a possibility, and if you can't find an opportunity in this country, above all countries, then shame on you. Because everyone else is trying to break down the walls to get in here simply for a possibility. And they're all around you. Now here's what I'm most proud of. We are no longer a possibility. 7 years ago, when we gave birth to this company, we were a possibility. A couple of years later, we were a decent possibility. A couple of years later, we were a good possibility. Last year, we were a great possibility. Today, we are the possibility. We are the number one undisputed player. We are the possibility. And that's exciting, right? That's exciting to go from a possibility to the possibility. What's the difference, Nick? Well, if we were going to drive from here to Anchorage, Alaska, a 1978 hatchback Toyota Corolla station wagon is a possibility. We might get there, right? It's a possibility. But the possibility is maybe a Ferrari, or it's a whatever you want, whatever your car of your dreams is, a Lamborghini. That's the possibility. See, guys, we now have the possibility. And I don't mean that from a biased perspective, an egotistical perspective. I mean that from a statistical perspective, from data. Because numbers don't lie, people do. And documentation beats conversation all day long. And for the people in the room that like numbers and that like documentation, let's do just a quick bit of analysis before we wrap up tonight. Hey, guys, we've got a business that's centered in solving We're centered in making a dent in the number one fastest growing epidemic in the world today. Our company is centered around making a dent in the number one fastest growing epidemic in the world today. Does anyone know what that epidemic is? Obesity. Obesity is the number one fastest growing epidemic in the world. So yes, you can tap into a business that's focal point is making a dent in the number one problem in the world fastest growing. That's a good place to be. Like, I'm not here saying, everybody, we got the vaccines to polio. We got the solution for it. Well, that happened 100 years ago, right? That's already been solved. I'm not here saying, guys, smallpox, we can solve it. That's long been solved, guys. I'm talking about the number one problem, fastest growing on planet Earth today is obesity, and we are the number one fastest growing platform to help people get results for that problem. We are the number one fastest growing platform to help people get results in solving that problem. Over 10 million pounds lost in a little over 2 years. Can I get a woo-hoo for that? That's pretty cool. So, numbers people, you're like, okay, there's a giant problem. It's good to have a business that helps solve a giant problem. Number two, they got the number one solution for that problem. That's a good place to be. You can buy a GMC. It's $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. You can sit there, have some 16-year-olds run your life savings and hope they do a good job. Or maybe you stand there 7 days a week, 16 hours a day. I don't know. That's not the number one fastest growing solution to the problem, right? We are. We've got the number one fastest growing business opportunity, providing that platform and solution to that problem as well. What do I mean by that? As a company, we have grown from $1 million a month, January 2010, to $33 million a month, November 2011, 23 months later. I know what you're thinking. Well, it's March. What'd you do in January and February? I'd love to tell you, but because we're owned by a publicly traded company, you must find out in April. But it was good. I can tell you it was good, okay? His stuff's good, right? But I can tell you the numbers from the fourth quarter of last year because those have been posted. $1 million a month to $33 million a month. That's a $12 million company to a $420 million company in 23 months. Now, for visual people, we grew double-digit growth, compounded growth, every single month with the exception of December 2010. Let's make a graph. I want you guys to rattle off 23 months in a row. It'll only take 10 seconds. Every time you see my hand hit like this, just say the next month after. We're going to go from January all the way to November of the following year, 23 months. 1, 2, 3, go.
January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November.
So this graph looks something like this, approximately. Something like that. Now, I can tell by your reaction you don't know what that graph means. So, this right here, that right there is really good. That right there, anyone want to guess? That's bad. What's this? What's that? Okay, let's do a 24-month economic review. The real estate industry, the mortgage industry, the automotive industry, the construction industry, the insurance industry, pharmaceutical industry, the banking industry, all industry related to those industries, the U.S. economy, the world economy, at the exact same time, in the exact same country, with the exact same problems, with the exact same people, the Body by Buy Challenge. So, a person can be super skeptical, but you can't deny that. It's just, what are you going to say? It's like, I still don't believe it. It's still not going to work. No, I don't think you understand. This is the rest of the world. This is us. I mean, it's one of those things where it's time already. Like, let's go. It's time. Let's do this. If you want a possibility, let's do this. Let's go. Okay? Again, I fully respect the fact that some people do not want to be entrepreneurs. I get that. You're like, Dude, I just came here because they said there was a free shake. I thought I was going to Dairy Queen. I didn't know what happened. Somehow I ended up here with you. Right? So I get that. But for you entrepreneurs in the room, I had a guy send me an email. True story. He's like, I've done 6 months worth of analysis on every company, all of your competitors. And it turns out you're the best option. I said, I could have saved you 6 months, told you that 6 months ago. Right? And I'm like, 6 months ago, we doubled the company almost twice. I mean, 6 months ago, Jimmy, you joined the company as a promoter like 8 months ago? 9 months ago, he was doing his first 90-day challenge. Now he's making $10,000 to $15,000 a month. While this guy's doing research. Right? I'm researching stuff. Getting ready. Right? There's a lot of ambassadors in the room that were just you in the seats 6 months ago. And some of you guys are going to be like, 6 months, well, now I've missed it. Look what happened already. The same people who said, well, let's see what you do 6 months ago, the same people now go, oh, now I missed it. No. There's always an excuse. There's always an excuse. There's always a reason. Here's what I ask of you. If you want to be an entrepreneur, just go for it. Take action. I know a lot of you are frustrated. When the news and the newspaper and politicians and news anchors, when they talk about what's happening in people's lives, they're talking about the majority of human beings, right? They're talking about your frustrations. They're talking about the debt situations that we have in this room. They're talking about the crises of banking and mortgage and real estate we have in this room. We're talking about Rich Flowers who lost 2 homes. They're talking about you. Right? We're talking about, marriages struggling because of financial turmoil. They're talking about, parents afraid as to what's going to happen for their kids because they're buried up to here, right? They're talking about a lot of people in this room. They're talking about people that can't find work that are highly qualified. They're talking about people that are afraid that they're going to end up on that line of people that need work because their company's outsourcing and downsizing. And we're talking about everybody in this room. But here's what I know for sure. Great entrepreneurs are born out of frustration. That's it. The more frustrated you are, the better your outcome can be. Because that means you've had it up to here, right? Somebody who's complacent, somebody who's comfortable, somebody who's okay, they're not going to go make major change in their life. They're going to sit down and do what they've always done. But if you're like so frustrated with maybe it's the voice of the person who sits next to you at work, and you're like, oh my God, if I have to listen to her for one more day, I'm going to kill myself. It's like, please, somebody get me out of this place, right? An entrepreneur is born out of that, right? Some of you guys are like, man, I just cannot stand the fact that they keep making me work Saturdays. I cannot stand the fact that I can't see my kids before they go to bed. I can't stand the fact that I can't get up work early enough to see soccer game or ballet or t-ball. I can't stand the fact that I work harder than, am smarter than, and make more money than my boss. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Or excuse me, and make less money than my boss. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about, right? See, that type of frustration gives birth to a successful entrepreneur. The more frustrated you are, the better. But here's the key. You cannot let that frustration loose on, your dog. You can't let that frustration loose on your family, your kids, your spouse. You've got to channel and all that frustration of everything that's really irking you from a career perspective, and you need to let it loose on entrepreneurship. You have to redirect all of that emotion that's being bottled up and just let it loose on entrepreneurship. And if you can learn to redirect that frustration on entrepreneurship, you can be one of these black jackets. What's a black jacket? A black jacket denotes a 6-figure a year earner with us. It denotes somebody that's helped about 12, 15 people qualify for the BMW, make an extra $1,500 to $2,000 a month per each of those families. It denotes somebody that's helped about 500 to 1,000 people minimum get on the challenge. That's what one of those black jackets denotes. And I would love nothing more for you to get so frustrated that you just can't take it anymore, and you take so much massive action out on this vehicle that nobody can stop you. I would like to close out here with a couple thoughts. If I could have my black jackets join me on the stage, I want you guys all to know who your local ambassadors are. If you're an ambassador in the room, please come on up. Everyone else, give these guys a big round of applause, please. You might need a bigger stage. We'll close out a little bit differently than I normally would. One thing I want to say is if you're somebody that just wants to get on the challenge, grab the form, check a box, get on the challenge. If you want to get it for free, grab the form, check a box, get on the challenge, and have a 3 for free party as quickly as you can. If you're a type 3 person from earlier and you're like, I'm frustrated. Can I be one of those entrepreneurs? Can I be one of these guys? The answer is yes, absolutely, positively, yes, you can. Grab the application, not the order form, but the application. It says the independent promoter agreement. Fill that out and become a promoter of the challenge. Those of you guys who are type 3 people, I'm going to suggest to you 2 things. Are you guys going to start training tonight? Yes. Type 3 people, we're going to do a 5-minute break here in just a second, and they're going to put you through a getting started training. This is what you're going to do next and what you're going to say next. If you're like, okay, I just started a business, what the heck do I do? What the heck do I say? Stick around. They're going to put you through that getting started training. It takes about 20 minutes to put you through it. Give them 20 more minutes so they can direct you the correct way so you can make $500 to $1,000 back in the next week or 2. Anybody up for making $500 to $1,000 the next week or 2? Right? So stick around for the getting started training. Now, if you're already in it and you haven't made $500 to $1,000 in your first week or 2, you missed something in the getting started training. So I would stick around as well. And third type of people, I also want to suggest to you this last thing, which is really the reason why I'm here tonight and the reason why I'm traveling all throughout the Midwest. Tomorrow, Omaha, Kansas City, and Joplin on Wednesday, Tulsa and Oklahoma City on Thursday, Little Rock on Friday. The reason why is, can I grab that sheet of paper on top? Is we're having our national success training, the second one. Sorry, I didn't know there was not from back there. There we go. This one right here. I don't know if it came out to you guys. If not, we'll get it out to you. This is our national success training in Kansas City, Missouri. And I know some of you guys are like, dude, I don't even know how I got here. You're talking about getting me to Kansas City? Yes, I am. Kansas City, March 23rd, 24th, and 25th. I get that most of you aren't going to gel with this, connect with this, but let me share it to you like this. If you were to ask me the number 1 advice I could give you as a new entrepreneur of our company, I'd say get to Kansas City. The number 2 advice I can give you is bring someone with you. The number 3 advice I can give you is bring more than 1 person with you. Those are the top 3 things of advice I can give you as a new entrepreneur with us. Well, why? Because our scientific advisory board is going to be there, the founders, the management team, Blythe, all the Body by Body champions, all the ambassadors, all the top money earners, all the top trainers, guest speakers, all our rollouts, all our launches. We're going to have our 7th birthday party, which is going to be off the hook. The Gym Blossoms are going to be there playing. So come on out for that. But if you were going to, I want you guys to imagine that GNC scenario. You're going to put $200,000 on the line. $200,000. You got a loan from the bank to buy a GNC. And GNC said to you, you need to come out to GNC corporate so you can meet everybody and learn how the heck to do this. How many of you guys would have your butt on the first plane out to GNC to find out how to get your $200,000 back, right? The rest of you guys would be like, no, just keep the $200,000. I'm cool. We'll check it out on the web. Let's try that again. If you spent $200,000 at a GNC, how many of you guys would be out there at GNC headquarters to find out how to get your $200,000 back, right? We all would be. Here's the best thing about what we do. It doesn't cost a lot of money. Here's the worst thing about what we do. It doesn't cost a lot of money. You guys you won't take it that serious because it doesn't cost a lot of money. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money for you to take it serious. And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money for you to make a lot of money. There's people on the stage that make anywhere from $10,000 a month to $200,000 plus a month for a $500 business. I'd make the trip to Kansas City. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, here's another reason why. Last reason why. You might hate it. You might hate it. But wouldn't you rather know now? Wow, I hate this. You'd rather know that now. You wouldn't rather be 6 months in this going, I'm not sure if I like it or hate it yet, right? You want to know right now if you love it. You want to know right now if you hate it because it saves your time. And time is money. And if you can save 4 months of your time putzing around with something you shouldn't be doing, then get there or no. Or if you can save 4 months of your time taking massive action because you know you love it, get there. The number one advice I can give you is go there. And I hope I don't offend anyone here when I say this. If you were to ask me, Nick, I can go to Kansas City or I can get started tonight, I'd say go to Kansas City. Just go to Kansas City. Because I know if you get started tonight, you don't go to Kansas City, I don't know if I'll ever see you again. But I know if you don't get started tonight, you do go to Kansas City, I know you're getting started. Just go to Kansas City if you got to pick one or the other. So that was my rant. I apologize. Let's get back to this frustrated entrepreneur thing, right? Guys, entrepreneurs that are great are born out of frustration. Outside these walls was a series of Dr. Seuss portraits. Different art that Dr. Seuss did. And this is just a brilliant man. Literally changed the way. 1940s when 1960s when Green Eggs and Ham hit, became a bestseller. 1960. That's 50 plus years ago. Still today, we give it to our children. You know what Dr. Seuss urged people to do? Both parents and kids. Think differently. Think differently. Think out of the box. Get out of your little comfort zone. Think, be creative. To me, he was inspiring entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs think creatively. They think out of the box. Entrepreneurs, they have big goals. Entrepreneurs, they have big dreams. Entrepreneurs, they go for it, right? That was Dr. Seuss's messaging all the time to kids. But you were the ones that read it to your kids. So he's hitting both of you, right? And talk about a guy that changed the way people think. He inspired people. Brought the best out in people. And he's all over these walls, right outside this room. I found that to be exciting. I found that to be fitting. I went and looked at each picture and read each picture. It's a guy that I can align with. See, I don't know what happened, what year it was for you, when you gave up on what your big dreams were. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was 18, maybe it was 22, maybe it was 25. Ben Franklin said, and then said again by way of Martin Luther King, most men die at age 25. We just don't bury them until 60 or 65. And what he means by that is they give up on their dreams. So I thought tonight, if I could, I would close with a quick story by Dr. Seuss. And I want you guys not to think of this as a kid, as I just got a text. I don't want you guys to think of this as, a 5-year-old, this being read to you because I think, you're a child. I want you guys to think about this from where you sit in your life right now. Just where you sit in your life right now and think back, when was it when, you started to lose a little bit of hope? When you started to give up a little bit on your dreams? Just like every single one of these guys did. But then they grabbed a hold of this at some point. It's called Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy who will decide where to go. It's all caps. You are the guy who will decide where to go. You'll look up and down the streets, look them over with care. About some you'll say, I choose not to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down a not so good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener there. It's wide open air. Out there, things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and footsie as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just get right along. You'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and soon you'll take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you'll top all the rest. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say, but sadly it's true, that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on, and you'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in it for fun. You're unslumping and unslumping yourself is not easily done. You'll come to a place where the streets are not marked, some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you could sprain both your elbow and your chin. Do you dare stay out? Do you dare go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? If you go in, should you turn left or right? Or right and 3/4? Or maybe not quite? Or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you'll find. For a mind maker upper to make up his mind. Let me say that again. It's not simple for someone to make up their mind. It's not simple for them to decide. It's not simple for them to choose. You can get confused that you'll start to race in down a long, wiggled roads at a neck-breaking pace and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, towards the most useless place, the waiting place, for people just waiting. Waiting for a train or a bus to come or a plane to go or the mail to come or the rain to go or the phone to ring or the snow to snow or waiting around for a yes or a no, waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting. Waiting for the fish to bite, waiting for the wind to fly or a kite, or waiting around for Friday night, or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not you. Somehow you'll escape all the waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where the boom bands are playing. With banner flip-flapping, once more you'll ride high, ready for another under the sky, ready because you're that kind of guy. Oh, the places you'll go, there's fun to be done, there's points to be scored, there are games to be won, and magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame. You'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole world watching you win on TV. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm afraid that times you'll play lonely games too, games you can't win, because you'll play against you, all alone. Whether you like it or not, alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. Let's get down to the enemy eyes here. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great fact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And you will succeed. Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. Whether your name be Box Bomber, Bixby, or Brave, or Mordecai, Ale, Van, Allen, O'Shea, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Ladies and gentlemen, your mountain is waiting. Let's get on your way. Let the person know if you're a 1, 2, or 3. Stop waiting. Stop deciding. Stop being stuck and choosing land. Take action. Make a decision. I'll see you guys in Kansas City. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, guys.